the little dog's wooden house. The honest and kind little dog had a beautiful wooden house. He invited the little cat to play by the riverside. However, the mischievous little cat was easily frightened at night and heard a noise that made him believe the big wolf was coming, which scared him even more. The little cat feared the possibility of rain and requested that the little dog bring the house along, complete with a chair inside. So, the little dog carried the house on his back as he walked, while the little cat followed behind, saying, "Wow, little dog, you are really strong." The weight of the house on the little dog's back made it difficult for him to lift his head. The little cat stopped and asked, "Little dog, you must be tired, right?" The little dog replied, "Not tired at all." When they reached the riverside, the little cat caught butterflies on the grass, and the tired little dog lay down on the meadow, falling fast asleep. The little cat woke the little dog, saying, "There are lots of fish in the river. You should use your tail to catch some." "I love fish." The little dog had only heard stories about cats catching fish. He had never fished before. However, he couldn't argue with the little cat, so he dipped the tip of his tail into the river, hoping to catch some fish. But no fish were caught. The little cat then urged the little dog to climb a tree and catch green grasshoppers. The little dog responded, "Cats can climb trees. Dogs can't." Nevertheless, the little cat insisted, and the little dog jumped up to grab a tree branch. Unfortunately, he missed and fell to the ground, getting injured. Now, the little cat was frightened and in tears. He quickly took a white satin ribbon from around his neck and used it to bandage the little dog's injured leg. The little cat was careful, and no blood was shed. Finally, the little cat brought pieces of wood and used them as wheels, turning them into a makeshift cart. He gently pushed the injured little dog back home. As the sun set, the little cat called out to the little dog, "We're home, little dog." However, the little dog, snug inside his wooden house, didn't hear a thing. This story emphasizes the kindness and care between friends and teaches children the value of helping others when they are in need. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Find more story for kids. The Winter Villa of Little Mole. When winter arrived, the babbling brook in the valley ceased its cheerful song, replaced by the howling mountain wind. Little Mole, shivering with cold, roamed the sunny hillside, searching for a place to spend the winter. Chattering and shivering, it scraped a withered sunflower stem and tried to squeeze into the small burrow. Up on the hill, Little Mole's friend, Bonnie, dressed in blue and white striped overalls, was working hard, digging a hole. When it saw Little Mole, Bonnie greeted with a smile, saying, "Hi, Little Mole. The sunflower stem hole is too shallow for winter." Shivering, Little Mole replied, I know, but I can't find a place for winter." Bonnie kindly suggested, "That's all right. You can spend winter with me. I'm building a spacious villa, and it'd be perfect to have friends around for the winter." Little Mole thought, living in a warm, large villa with friends during winter would be so delightful and cozy, so it joined Bonnie in digging the burrow. Bonnie dug out the soil, and Little Mole used a small cart made from sunflower leaves to transport the earth outside. They toiled for 3 days and nights until the winter villa was finally complete. When the first snowflake of the winter fell, Little Mole and Bonnie relaxed in their cozy burrow. "Brr, brr, it's cold. La la la, winter's here, snowflakes falling." While they were chatting inside the burrow, they heard a melodious voice singing outside. Bonnie and Little Mole exchanged puzzled glances. "Who's singing in such a freezing winter?" Little Mole asked. Just then, a small crow landed on the withered sunflower stem. "Hey, the place looks warm. Can I come in?" the crow inquired. "Of course," Bonnie exclaimed. "Come on in. Our villa is perfect for the winter." The singing crow, a bit shy, said, I'm a singer. Do you mind having a singer as your guest?" Aha, not at all, Little Mole said, beaming. Our villa is spacious, and it's wonderful to have friends to spend the winter with. So, the songbird crow joined the cozy winter villa. The three of them chatted and sang songs, making the winter days enjoyable. Knock, knock, knock. A soft knock sounded at the door. May I come in? A tiny voice called from outside. Little Mole, Bonnie, and the crow hurried to the door. Who's there? They asked together. I'm Little Hedgehog, Dodo. Your villa is beautiful, and your songs are lovely. Can I come in and spend the winter with you? Dodo asked. Aha, certainly. Little Mole welcomed Dodo. Join us and spend the winter together. One by one, other animals found their way to the villa. A lost ant, a frog with no place to hibernate, and a bat that had accidentally flown in. They all came to the burrow, making friends, singing songs, and sharing pumpkins and sweet potatoes to survive the winter. When the pumpkins had all been eaten down to hollow shells, spring arrived. Little Mole watched as one by one, its friends left the burrow. It felt a little sad but soon cheered up. It was the happiest winter ever, and it had experienced the joy of sharing. Little Mole lit a candle inside a hollow pumpkin shell and hung it at the burrow entrance every night. This way, their friends wouldn't get lost during the dark nights. Little Mole looked forward to the next, even happier winter. Little Leaf learned skills. I am a small leaf. My home is by the pond, and the thickest tree is my mom. Compared to my mom, I'm really tiny, and even my older siblings don't want to play with me. Every day, I stand high up on the branch, watching the old man playing chess under the tree and the kids playing under the tree. I want to play with them, but sigh, if only I could become a great hero. I felt very anxious. What should Edo? One day, Wind Sister passed by me, and I quickly stopped her. Wind Sister, you've been to so many places. Can you please tell me how I can become a great hero? Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Wind Sister exhaled and said, You stand tall on your tree mom's shoulders. That's quite impressive. Even though you are small, your importance is not. Why do you want to be a hero? No, I just want to be a great hero, I said anxiously. Well, to become a hero, you need to learn some skills and endure hardships. Can you do that? I immediately shouted, Yes, I can do it. All right, I'll come to get you in the fall, Wind Sister said as she blew away. The autumn breeze has arrived, the weather turned cooler, and I could finally leave my mom. I let go and fell, but suddenly, a voice called out, Help! Help! It was two little ants struggling in the water, shouting for help. Don't worry, little ants. I'll save you. I panicked and swirled in the water, swimming over to the little ants. And then, I helped them out of the water and placed them safely on the shore. Thank you, Little Leaf, you're amazing. We're saved, Little Leaf. Why don't you come over to my place as a guest? One of the ants said. No, I can't. I still need to learn some skills. I want to be a great hero and do great things, I replied. Oh, I understand, the ant said. Little Leaf, can you guess if we can lift you up? Me? You? I laughed heartily. Ignoring me, the little ants touched their antennae. In no time, a line of ants approached, and before I knew it, I was lifted up. I was gently carried forward and gently placed back on the ground. I rolled and laughed, saying, Little ants, I want to learn skills from you. The little ants politely said, In the natural world, we are the tiniest residents, and I, by myself, am not skilled. However, when we unite, we can create wonders. Just like you, when you all open your green umbrellas together, even the sun is no match for you. The little ants cheered for me. I suddenly felt a bit embarrassed. I realized that together with my friends, I could become a true hero. Saying goodbye to the little ants, I felt like I had grown taller all of a sudden. I had finally learned some valuable skills. What do you think? Welcome to our YouTube channel. Find more story for kids. Happy Wolf and his quest for good health. Happy Wolf was a small and skinny wolf. His mother was very worried and tried everything to make the meat taste delicious. She cooked dishes like barbecue pork, braised pork, steamed spare ribs, bone broth, and fried chicken legs. The table was full every day with these dishes. But despite eating meat every day, Happy Wolf just couldn't gain weight, and he kept complaining, "I don't want to eat meat. I don't want to eat meat." Next door, the rabbit family had 1 or 2 chubby little bunnies, and they all looked so plump and white. Happy Wolf's mother was curious and decided to seek advice from the rabbit mom. The rabbit mom said, "When it comes to delicious food, there's nothing better than carrots." So, Happy Wolf's mother began preparing a grand carrot feast: carrot pancakes, carrot stew, cold carrot slaw, stir-fried carrot slices, and more. Now, Happy Wolf should gain weight, right? Unexpectedly, no matter how many carrots he ate, he just kept getting skinnier. He could be blown away by a gust of wind. Happy Wolf's mother was very worried, but his father was even more distressed. He said, "Dear, we can't eat carrots every day. I'm so hungry that I could swallow a whole deer." Happy Wolf's mother rushed back to the rabbit mom for advice, and she suggested, "My bunny family loves to eat mushrooms. They eat so much that their bellies are round and plump." So, Happy Wolf's mother began cooking a grand mushroom feast. Mushroom pancakes, mushroom stew, cold mushroom slaw, stir-fried mushroom slices, and more. This time, Happy Wolf should definitely gain weight, right? To everyone's surprise, he continued to lose weight, and he could be knocked over by a simple sneeze. Even his father looked miserable and sighed, "Dear, we can't eat mushrooms every day. I'm so hungry that I could swallow an elephant." Just as Happy Wolf's mother was about to prepare a cabbage feast, Happy Wolf became angry and shouted, "I don't want to eat cabbage. I don't want to eat cabbage." This time, Happy Wolf's mother had no other choice. She mixed all the meat, mushrooms, carrots, and cabbage into a big pot and made a hearty stew. It simmered for a long hour and a half. Surprisingly, the stew turned out to be incredibly delicious, and everyone ate until their bellies were round. Happy Wolf even let out 3 satisfied burps and said, "From now on, we should eat like this." Quickly, Happy Wolf became stronger and faster. He could run as fast as a cheetah and jump as high as a kangaroo. Happy Wolf's mother became the best mom in the forest, and mothers from all around came to seek her advice. So, there you have it. The key to good health, according to Happy Wolf's mother, is to eat both meat and vegetables. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Find more story for kids. Bebe's little bumps. Bebe always thought he was just like the other little buddies. At first, they were all round eggs, and later they grew long tails and became tadpoles. The tadpoles grew bigger and bigger. They sprouted for legs, shed their long tails, and their black coats. They could swim, climb, and hop around. Now, they were called frogs. Frogs came in various shapes and sizes. Some wore green clothes, and some had yellow jackets. Only Bebe couldn't decide if he was green or black, but he always felt a bit dirty. He kept washing himself in the water, but he couldn't change his color. Later, Bebe started itching, and he hopped onto the muddy riverbank to scratch himself. Trouble started brewing because he got a lot of little bumps on his body. "Oh no, this is terrible. I must have mud stuck in my skin. Let me help you scratch," Bebe's good friend, Greenie, said, trying to scratch the bumps. But it was no use. The bumps kept getting bigger and bigger. "What's happening?" Bebe said, puffing up his big eyes, feeling upset. Greenie thought for a moment and whispered, "I know. These bumps on your body are all your emotions. It's the anger when you're mad, the sigh when you're sad, the resentment toward others. When there's too much emotion inside you, It can't fit in your belly, so it comes out in the form of these bumps. Bebe thought it made sense. It seemed like he had too much emotion, and he needed to let it go. He tried hard to adjust his emotions, not getting angry or holding onto grudges, but those little bumps still kept growing. Mother Toad is looking for her children. The news spread throughout the frog community. When Greenie and Bebe saw Mother Toad, they both realized the truth. Bebe wasn't a frog, he was a toad. Bebe looked just like Mother Toad, covered in little bumps. "Welcome home," the young toads greeted Bebe. Bebe touched the little bumps on his body and smiled. "Your little bumps are beautiful," one of the toads said. Bebe began to genuinely appreciate the little bumps on his body. They were chubby and not so bad looking. From then on, Bebe slowly began to like these little bumps. He often proudly said, "I'm a toad, not a frog. If you can't tell, just look at all my little bumps." And so, Bebe learned to embrace his uniqueness and was proud to be a toad. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Find more story for kids. The Red Ant's Festival Gift. On the morning of the Ant Festival, Red Ant looked out the window and saw a beautiful day. It seemed like a perfect day to celebrate. Red Ant went for a walk outside, thinking about how to celebrate the Ant Festival. Suddenly, he found something very special. Red Ant waved to his friends and called out, "Wow, that's amazing! What is it?" His friends gathered around. Red Ant said, "This is the Ant Festival gift I found." They decided to take the gift home. The ants pushed and pushed, but the gift wouldn't budge. "Wow, that's incredible! What is it?" Their neighbor, Mr. Field Mouse, came over. Red Ant said, "This is the Ant Festival gift I found." They decided to take the gift home. 2 field mice came to help, but they didn't get far before they got tired and couldn't move it anymore. "Wow, that's incredible! What is it?" Field Mouse's neighbor, Little Squirrel, came over. Red Ant and the field mice said, "This is the Ant Festival gift we found." Squirrel came to help, but she didn't get far before she got tired and couldn't move it anymore. "Wow, that's incredible! What is it?" Squirrel's neighbor, Mr. Rabbit, came over. Red Ant, the field mice, and Squirrel said, "This is the Ant Festival gift we found." Rabbit came to help, but he didn't get far before he got tired and couldn't move it anymore. Oh my, when will they get home? Red Ant looked at the darkening sky and thought about giving up on the Ant Festival gift. However, his friends disagreed, and they caught the gift with their hands. "Wow, that's amazing! What's happening here?" At that moment, Elephant, who was Mr. Rabbit's neighbor, arrived. Red Ant, the field mice, Squirrel, Rabbit, and Elephant explained, "This is the Ant Festival gift we found, but we couldn't bring it home." Elephant said, "Let me help you. It's a piece of cake." Elephant carried the enormous pile of stuff, and in just a few steps, they were back at Red Ant's home. As it got dark, Red Ant invited his friends to have a barbecue together. They also wanted to share the Ant Festival gift with their friends. Unbeknownst to them, when the gift was lit, it made a loud bang and shot up into the sky. It turned out to be a festival firework. Red Ant was amazed. Everyone said it was the best Ant Festival gift ever. Happy Ant Festival! Welcome to our YouTube channel. Find more story for kids. The Amazing Rabbit. Under the big tree, a few girls were happily jumping rope. The sounds of their laughter were like silver bells ringing and caught the attention of a little rabbit named Autumn. Autumn hid in the nearby bushes, secretly observing. "Wow, that's great! They're jumping so well!" Autumn couldn't help but exclaim. The girls immediately stopped jumping and walked over to the bushes. "Who's calling? Why won't they come out? Oh my, we're about to be discovered." Startled, Autumn hurriedly ran away. The girls only saw a white flash and couldn't see anything else. How strange! I wonder who it was. This little rabbit, named Autumn, rushed back home and gasped for breath. As she told her rabbit mom, "Mom, I saw some girls jumping rope under the big tree." "They were jumping rope?" "Yes, Mom. I want to learn how to jump rope too." "You want to learn to jump rope?" Rabbit mom laughed. "Child, don't be silly. No rabbit jumps rope." "But I want to learn," Autumn insisted. From then on, Autumn went to watch the girls jumping rope every day. She paid close attention to their movements and memorized them all. However, watching alone wouldn't be enough. She needed to practice. One day, Autumn dressed up like a human child and walked into a small shop. "Excuse me, do you have any jump ropes?" Autumn asked the kind old lady sitting behind the counter in a soft voice. "Jump ropes, you say?" The old lady asked warmly, and she even raised her hands and demonstrated a jump rope motion. "You mean jump ropes like this?" "Yes, exactly. Do you have any?" "I'm sorry, we don't have any," the old lady said, shaking her head and opening her palms in a sorry manner. "None." Autumn sighed softly and left the store. "Please wait, this one belongs to my granddaughter, but I'll give it to you," the old lady said, coming out with a jump rope in her hands. "You're giving it to me? Is that really true? Thank you so much," Autumn exclaimed and bowed gratefully to the old lady. Autumn practiced jumping rope diligently. At first, she couldn't get it right and often stumbled and fell. Other young rabbits teased her, saying, "What a funny rabbit." "Keep it up, Autumn," her mom, who initially disagreed with her practicing, encouraged her. Her mom's words filled Autumn with confidence, and she practiced even harder. Finally, Autumn learned how to jump rope and could do it continuously for dozens of jumps. The young rabbits who once laughed at her now looked on in amazement. One day, Autumn returned to the big tree where she had first seen the girls jumping rope. She swung the jump rope high and started counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. When she reached 100, applause erupted from behind the tree. It was the girls who had come to jump rope and were astonished to see a rabbit jumping so well. Suddenly, one of the little girls exclaimed, "That's my jump rope. How come Grandma gave it to a rabbit?" "That's right. We're so glad to see you." Autumn bowed to the little girl and smiled with her red lips stretched wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Under the big tree, Autumn and the girls happily jumped rope together. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Find more story for kids. The Autumn of the Little Elves. When the wind blows and the tall trees shed their leaves, autumn arrives. The leaves tumble down to the ground, as if injured little birds with wounded wings. And then, a group of little elves appears. They come to bring joy to this place. On a large mushroom, they set up a kite, warming the chilly autumn breeze. They play their violins on the mushroom, guiding the fallen leaves to where the music plays. The little elves swing on the grassy branches like it's a swing set. They climb to the tops of trees to paint. They sit on tree branches to read books. The trees shedding their leaves say, "I used to be so afraid of autumn. Why am I not as scared now?" One little elf replies, "Actually, we're also afraid of autumn." "Why?" the tree asks. The little elf says, "Because autumn is the last season for us little elves." The tree inquires, "What do you mean by the last season?" "Because in winter, we little elves don't come out to play. So, now, we are looking for the best place to spend the winter." The tree thinks, I hope they choose this place." Another little elf chimes in, "We've chosen this place." The tree is overjoyed, trembling with excitement. This causes more of its leaves to fall. For so many years, the tree had always spent the winter alone, but now it has the little elves. The tree can't help but think, yes, many things become particularly beautiful when they're almost gone. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Find more story for kids. The clever little peach. In this world, we have smart people, clever cats, clever dogs, clever elephants. But have you ever heard of a clever little peach? Yes, there is one, and this is the story of a clever little peach. One day, a little kitten named Chocolate was lying under the eaves, playing with a piece of mud. Suddenly, a round little peach rolled out from the nearby bushes and, without warning, scolded Chocolate, saying, "You naughty little cat! Bad little cat!" Chocolate looked around but couldn't see any other cats. It was then that Chocolate realized that the little peach was scolding him. Furious and out of breath, Chocolate pounced towards the little peach. However, the agile peach hopped away, skillfully dodging Chocolate's claws, and then quickly turned and fled. Chocolate was not one to be trifled with, and he sprang into action, chasing after the little peach. The little peach seemed delighted that Chocolate was pursuing it, and it continued to run while teasing, "Come on, come on! Chase me!" The little peach hopped and skipped ahead, sometimes jumping over ditches and other times darting through thickets. Its figure constantly danced in front of Chocolate's eyes, but it remained just out of reach. Chocolate didn't want to chase the peach any longer, and luckily, a group of ants was carrying food beneath a nearby tree. Chocolate stopped and observed intently. As he watched, he suddenly heard the sounds of a mouse from the direction where the little peach had fled. Chocolate wasn't too interested in the little peach, but was very intrigued by the mouse. He leaped to his feet and followed the sound. The strange thing was that this mouse didn't run on all fours. Instead, it hopped along, jumping from place to place within the grass. All Chocolate could see was its arched back. He couldn't spot its head or tail. This was indeed a peculiar mouse. The mouse, after bounding through the grass, came to a halt beneath a peach tree. It turned around to face Chocolate, removed its clothing, and revealed its true identity. It was the same little peach. "Why did you disguise yourself as a mouse?" Chocolate was utterly perplexed. The little peach pointed to a hole at the base of the tree and said, "My mother fell into this hole. I led you here to save my mom." Chocolate leaned over to peer into the deep hole. Indeed, at the bottom of the hole, Peach's mother was sitting. Chocolate was delighted to become a hero. He climbed down the hole's wall, effortlessly rescuing Peach's mother. Through this incident, Chocolate and the clever little peach became great friends. Their favorite game to play together was the one where Peach would disguise itself as a mouse, and Chocolate would chase it. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Find more story for kids. The wandering paper nose. Oh no, I'm stuck the wrong way. One morning, a group of children were playing a game called Stick the Nose with blindfolds. They were having trouble pinning the paper nose to the right place. Some noses ended up on their chins, others on their foreheads, and one little boy even managed to stick the paper nose on backward. "Why do I have my nostrils facing the sky?" the paper nose grumbled, feeling embarrassed. Just then, a gust of wind blew by, and the paper nose was carried away. The paper nose fluttered in the breeze, up and away. It came to a halt near a riverbank where it met an elephant. It landed on the elephant's forehead and asked, "Elephant, elephant, can I be your nose?" "But I already have a nose," the elephant said, raising its long trunk. "See, my nose is like a long water hose." "Oh, you have a nose too," the paper nose sighed in disappointment and flew away. The paper nose fluttered through the air, landing next in a forest on a wild boar's forehead. It asked the wild boar, "Wild boar, wild boar, can I be your nose?" "Hey, I already have a nose," the wild boar pouted. "See, my nose looks like a lotus root." "You have a nose as well," the paper nose said with a frown and flew away in frustration. The paper nose continued to soar, finally reaching the top of a haystack where a rooster was perched. It landed on the rooster's forehead and inquired, "Rooster, rooster, can I be your nose?" "Sorry, I already have a nose," the rooster replied, rolling its eyes. "See, my nose is up here, just like a tiny hole." "You have a nose too, my apologies," the paper nose sighed and flew away, disheartened once again. The paper nose drifted in the air and arrived over the ocean. Just then, a massive whale emerged from the water. The paper nose landed on the whale's back and asked, Whale, can I be your nose?" "But I have a nose," the whale responded, exhaling a breath of water. "See, my nose is like a fountain, spraying water high into the sky." With no suitable place to stay, the paper nose felt utterly dejected. "Looks like I'm just superfluous," the paper nose mumbled to itself. Suddenly, a strong gust of wind swept by, carrying the paper nose with it. After a considerable time, the wind finally calmed, and the paper nose landed with a thud on the trunk of a big tree. "Achoo!" the tree sneezed. These ants crawling all over my face are tickling me. Having a nose would be quite nice. I could sneeze more comfortably," the tree joyfully exclaimed. The paper nose was overjoyed. "Ah, I've finally found my home." The paper nose fluttered in the wind, landing on the big tree, where it found its rightful place. Just like the paper nose, everyone has their unique place and purpose. All we need to do is be our best selves and keep moving forward. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Find more story for kids.